be cut it out. And then when he came, and then he said he had the camera and what he was doing and this and that. And I said, okay, Lord, I see it coming now. And I said, I just want to be humble, humble to it and submissive to it. And I said, use me, you know what I'm saying? Because I know what to say to men like me. Men like me, they understand authority that from other men like me. And I believe that through God leading us through this, that I believe it's going to be very effective, because it's that time and people are looking, and they're tired. They're putting down their guns here. I remember years ago, about 12.
Is that in Bakersfield? Again, I'm not totally familiar with the crime statistics, but how are those crime statistics in Bakersfield now?
Well, when I gave up my acting career, I told the actress Marla Gibbs that the Lord told me to come back and undo what I did, and I started 805. I started the first gang on this side called West Side. And when I came back, God led me to a church right here on 4th and N called Compassion Christian Center. I went in that church and knew the pastor. He knew my mother and father, and I went in there, and I usually pray in there from 8 to 6 every day, consistently. Stop for an hour lunch. And one morning, the Lord woke me up and he told me to tell the chief of police to deal with the gang issue. I went and made an appointment and deal with him. He knew me by my reputation. This is Scrap Iron, and we already know who he is, but he's saying he's saved now. And he said, well, we have a structure here, and we're dealing with it. Next weekend, there on Brundage and Chester, there was a shootout in there with gang members. And police was chasing one of the gang members. He threw a shotgun over the fence and blew off a 12-year-old Hispanic girl's head. And the city said that was enough. We was tired. So the city came together at a church called Lighthouse. I was coming out of my business, and I seen another brother that was involved and concerned about the gangs. He told me, he said, man, they're having a meeting about the gangs at the Lighthouse. And I said, okay, Lord, I see what it is. So as I was walking through the door, the mayor, board of supervisor, all the leadership was up, and the mayor was up talking. He said, how are we going to go out there and deal with the gang, the people? He said, first, we're old, you know what I'm saying, and we're white, and they're not going to listen to us. And the voice of the Lord said, your gift will make room for you. You the hero. You Scrap Iron. You started 805. When they go to prisons and jails and stuff, all they hear about is you and your miraculous war stories. You know what I'm saying? And so one of the pastors from St. Peter's called Arthur Anthony pulled the mayor's cover and said, call on Scrap. And so the mayor, he called on me. And when he called on me, I told him about the meeting that I had with the chief of police, and sorry that the next day it was that the 2-year-old Mexican girl head got shot off, and now we got to deal with it. I said, I'm going to go out and bring the Crips and the Bloods together, and the love, God wants y'all to treat them with love and give them jobs. So I went out, and then the mayor said, well, anybody got anything else to say? Nobody had nothing to say because everybody already in there knew me. So I went out, and we was going to have it on California at one of the councilmen, city council in a big building. So on that day, I went and talked to the Crips. I went and talked to the Bloodshot Callers, and they met us on that day. They got out their cars, came in, gave me a hug, went on in, and we did the first gang truce here. But they didn't receive no jobs or nothing. Everything else went back to thing. So what I did is I got paranoid and scared, and I jumped on a bus and went to Atlanta, Georgia to visit the brothers in the SLCC, Martin Luther King's. Martin Luther King's struggle. And I began to talk about we need help down in Bakersfield. And you brothers knew what to do. And he said, yeah, you're right. We did it. We came together and did what we had to do to make changes. He said, but you're missing one thing about us. And I said, what was that? He said, we old now. It's going to take young men like you to see a change need to be made, come together and make that change. At that time, all the brothers that I see that can make the change, they were selling dope. You know what I'm saying? So I came back teary-eyed and everything and got back, just stayed in church and was praying. And now they come up with a program called Safe Streets, where if a shooting on this side of town, what they'll do is send letters out to gang members. Gang members come in, and I'll be one of the speakers that'll get up and talk to them about bad choices. And if they want to make a change, we get their information, and we do follow up with them, and we help them to go to training called West Tech, so they can have all the preparation and safety things that they need to work in the oil field. And it's been quite a few success stories. People coming out of there making $60,000, $70,000 a year. And that's what I'm part of now, working with the Bakersfield Police Department.
So you talked about you being drawn to becoming a Republican because Republicans tended to be more self-sufficient.
Yeah.
Yet at the same time, in order for what you're talking about to really take root, there has to be some sort of infrastructure out there, education,
Right.
jobs. Otherwise, you could reform all you want, and it's just going to pull back into
The same thing.
and it's going to fall apart again. So you have to have something that's going to guarantee. I hate to use the word guarantee, but at least there's some infrastructure for people to work from.
Well, by me being in politics and being a Republican, I ran campaigns against Democrats, for Republicans, for better opportunities in the community. Most of the black politicians, when they run on jobs. I run on business. Business is a way out for any community economical despair. And we have more businesses in this community that could be able to hire more minorities. And we've done good in our campaign. I was a campaign consultant with another Republican, Dean Gordon, and we lost that bid. But Kevin McCarthy is one of the congressmen here in Bakersfield. He's a friend of mine, and I'm going to start working with him about doing more in the community for blacks and bring back trade schools. This used to be a trade school town. You can go here and get 2 credentials. You can learn how to take that trade and work for somebody, or you can take that trade and open up your business. You know what I'm saying? This is a conservative town, so that's what we talk. Bringing back is trade schools.
So do you believe that, this is perhaps more political, but do you believe that it is? But then do you believe that trade school should be a state school? Should it be a private school? Should it be, who's going to pay for the trade school? And it's clear that the need is there.
Yeah.
So how does that?
Well, the government pay for it.
I agree. It should. That should be the proper
Right.
role of
That's who gonna pay for it. The government.
Right. Okay.
Right.
But isn't that? But that's kind of the bit of the debate today is about. Well, we don't want the government to pay for that. The government shouldn't have to pay for these schools.
Well, if independents want to come together, and those that are investors want to come together and build trade schools, I mean, it's fine.
Right.
But we need them built.
Right.
We need entrepreneurs.
Right.
That's what Republicans talk about. We need young entrepreneurs to start business so we can put some people to work. And that's my belief. That's the only way it's going to happen. If we don't create businesses, there ain't going to be no work.
No, without a doubt.
Right.
But see, this is where I'm a Democrat.
Yeah.
I think it's very interesting in that.
But I'm saying, I'm Democrat at heart, but Republican by affiliation. Right. This is a Republican town.
Yeah, no, I understand.
And I had to stay Republican. You know what I'm saying? To be in there, somebody got to be in there.
Right.
That's to show that Democrat heart.
That's very interesting. Yeah, I get it.
You get it? I ain't getting this to be no dummy. Now I had to work it out.
Yeah.
Even though my black friends are mad at me because I'm a Democrat, but they don't understand that you got to have somebody in there. It was just like Joseph. I don't know about Joseph in the Bible. He was the one that had to dream that he was going to be. His thorn grew taller than everybody, that he was going to be the leader, and his dad brought him a purple coat, and they didn't like him, and they sold him into slavery. Slavery brought him into Egypt, and when the famine came into the land, they had all come to Egypt to get barley and fruit, and David was the one that had to give it to him. You know what I'm saying? You have to have somebody in there that, that can speak for the people, that can show them hard.
So is that what Barack Obama is doing?
No, the Barack Obama is the greatest president that ever lived. He stopped it. He stopped it in his tracks, and he balanced it. It's balanced. Now it's time for us to go forward.
That's totally unique.
What?
That's fantastic. The way you just said that.
I mean, it's
absolutely brilliant. I've never heard it explained that way.
It is. I mean, look at living into it. See, not only like I was asking my brother, I said, do he want to talk to Scrap Iron, the bishop, Scrap Iron, the prophet, or Scrap Iron, the gangster, or Scrap Iron, the pimp? Which one do he want to talk to? You know what I'm saying? Because they're all professionals. You know what I'm saying? If you go in the game by the game, I'm the most powerful man on the streets. I got more say so than anybody.
See what you've done. You've come back as the philosopher king.
Right. That's right. As philosopher the king. You know what I'm saying? And you have to know the spiritual times. How God could in there. See, I told my Republicans, they got mad at me. I told them, I said, man, y'all got to be crazy. I said, black man is a breath of fresh air for America. I said,
Black man.
yeah, but I'm saying, because I said everybody else hating y'all. Y'all got a black man in there, and y'all can breathe. I said, just regroup and get ourselves together, and when it's time, let's get on back crapping. He's right for the right time. Everybody's seeing a different America. They can breathe. You know what I'm saying? They can relax. They seen a change. You know what I'm saying? So let's get ourselves together and let's do right and let's go forward. You know what I'm saying? And instead of going backward, let's mend our men's here as Republicans, Democrat, black and white, Mexican and white, and let's get it together. Because God didn't say he was coming back. He said he coming back for a church without a spot or wrinkle. That's all races. And if you here, I don't care how you got here. If you got here by a boat, you understand what I'm saying, chained in the boat, you came here swimming, and you came here in a car, you came by a plane. I say, however you got here, you're an American. Now let's mold into American. You know what I'm saying? Be all that God called us to be. He said he didn't come back he ain't coming back for a church, a white church. He didn't say he come back for an all black church. He didn't say he's coming back for an all Republican church or a Democrat church. He said he coming back for a church without a spot or wrinkle. I mean, that's us loving each other. You know what I'm saying? And that's working towards those that's being lost and bringing them to him. That's what he's coming back for. We know we got the enemy, and we know what he come to do. He come to kill, steal, and destroy. He come to bring the separation.